Chapter 49, The Enchanted Mirror Lake. After restoring the Valley of Whispering Stones to its former glory, Tobian and Nivara continued their journey, guided by the prophecy revealed by the ancient stones. Their path led them to a dense forest, where the trees towered high above, their leaves a vibrant shade of emerald green. The forest was alive with the sounds of nature, from the chirping of birds to the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. As they walked deeper into the forest, the air grew cooler, and a faint mist began to rise from the ground. Tobian could feel the presence of magic all around them, a subtle but powerful force that seemed to be guiding their steps. Nivara, attuned to the energies of the land, sensed that they were nearing something important, something that would require her to transform once again. They emerged from the forest into a clearing, where they found themselves standing on the shore of a pristine lake. The water was as still as glass, perfectly reflecting the sky above and the surrounding trees. The lake's surface shimmered with a faint, ethereal glow, as if it were infused with the very essence of magic itself. "This is no ordinary lake," Tobian said, his voice filled with awe. "It's as if the water itself is enchanted." Nivara knelt by the water's edge, dipping her fingers into the cool, clear water. As she did, the lake responded to her touch, sending ripples across its surface. The ripples formed intricate patterns, like runes dancing on the water, and Nivara felt the magic of the lake reaching out to her, inviting her to embrace it. "It's more than just enchanted," Nivara replied, her voice soft and reverent. "This lake is a mirror, a reflection of both the physical and the magical worlds. It's connected to the very fabric of reality, and it holds the power to reveal truths hidden beneath the surface." Tobian watched as Nivara's reflection in the water began to shift and change, her form blurring as if the lake were reshaping her image. Realizing it was time for her transformation, Nivara stood and closed her eyes, allowing the magic of the lake to flow through her. The transformation began slowly, her auburn hair lightening until it became a brilliant silver, like moonlight on water. Her eyes turned a deep, a luminous blue, reflecting the color of the lake. Her skin took on a soft, pearlescent glow, as if she were bathed in the light of a full moon. Her gown transformed into a flowing dress made of shimmering, translucent fabric that seemed to ripple like water with every movement. She had become the embodiment of the enchanted mirror lake, a being of grace and reflection, connected to the magic of both the earth and the water. Tobian couldn't take his eyes off her. "You're more beautiful than ever, Nivara. You've become one with the lake's magic." Nivara smiled, her eyes sparkling like the lake's surface. "The lake has much to show us, Tobian. Its waters hold the secrets of the past, present, and future. But to see what lies beneath, we must dive deep, both into the lake and into ourselves." Without hesitation, Nivara stepped into the lake, her form rippling as she merged with the water. Tobian followed, feeling the cool water envelop him as they waded deeper into the lake. The water was unlike anything he had ever experienced. It was soothing and invigorating at the same time, as if it were cleansing not just his body but his spirit as well. As they moved further into the lake, the water around them began to glow more brightly, illuminating the depths below. Tobian and Nivara swam downwards, drawn by the light that seemed to come from the very heart of the lake. The deeper they went, the more they could see ancient ruins resting on the lake, overgrown with shimmering, iridescent plants. The ruins were remnants of a long-lost civilization, one that had been deeply connected to the magic of the lake. In the center of the ruins, they found a large, circular stone platform, adorned with carvings similar to the ones they had seen in the Valley of Whispering Stones. But these carvings were more intricate, more detailed, depicting scenes of a great ritual performed by the lake's original inhabitants. At the center of the platform, resting on a pedestal of smooth, polished stone, was a small, ornate mirror. The mirror's surface was flawless, reflecting not just their images but also something more, images of other places, other times, glimpses of a world beyond their own. Nivara reached out to touch the mirror, and as she did, the images on its surface shifted, revealing a vision of a hidden temple deep within a dense, overgrown jungle. The temple was ancient, its walls covered in moss and vines, but it radiated a powerful aura, as if it held the key to a great mystery. "This is what the lake wanted to show us," Nivara said, her voice filled with wonder. "The temple, it's the next step in our journey. The magic of the lake is guiding us there." Tobian nodded, his gaze fixed on the mirror. "This temple holds the answers we've been seeking, and perhaps more than we could ever imagine. But we must be prepared, the challenges ahead will not be easy." As they ascended from the depths of the lake, the water around them began to calm, the glow fading until the lake was once again still and serene. The vision of the temple lingered in their minds, a reminder of the path that lay ahead. Emerging from the water, Nivara's appearance remained changed, a testament to the bond she had formed with the lake's magic. The journey to the hidden temple would be their next adventure, one filled with new challenges and discoveries. And with the power of the enchanted Mirror Lake now a part of them, Tobian and Nivara knew they were ready for whatever awaited them. Hand in hand, they left the shore of the lake, their hearts and minds set on the journey ahead. The forest, the lake, and the valley behind them had all played their part in preparing them for this moment. Together, they would face the unknown, guided by the magic that had brought them this far and the unbreakable bond between them. Chapter 50, The Whispering Winds of Elder Grove. With the vision of the hidden temple still fresh in their minds, Tobian and Nivara journeyed onward, following the mystical pool of the mirror's guidance. Their path took them through dense jungles, across windswept plains, and finally, to the edge of an ancient forest known as Elder Grove. The trees of Elder Grove were unlike any they had seen before, towering giants with gnarled trunks and leaves that shimmered with an ethereal light, as if the very air was infused with magic. As they entered the forest, a gentle breeze stirred the leaves above, creating a soft, melodic whisper that seemed to carry with it the voices of the forest itself. Nivara paused, closing her eyes as she attuned herself to the forest's energy. The breeze played with her silver hair, now streaked with shades of green and gold, reflecting the vibrancy of the living woods. "The winds here are alive," Nivara murmured, her voice almost lost in the symphony of whispers. "They speak of ancient secrets, of a time when this forest was a sacred place, protected by the spirits of nature. To move forward, I must become one with the winds." Tobian watched as Nivara's form began to change once more, the magic of the forest and the winds intertwining with her essence. Her hair turned a deep forest green, flecked with golden highlights that shimmered like sunlight filtering through leaves. Her eyes became a vivid emerald, glowing with an inner light. Her skin took on a soft, earthy tone, and her gown transformed into a flowing dress of leaves and vines, adorned with delicate flowers that seemed to bloom with every step she took. Nivara had become the embodiment of Elder Grove's spirit, a guardian of nature and the winds that whispered through the ancient trees. The transformation complete, Nivara opened her eyes, now gleaming with the wisdom of the forest. "The winds will guide us through Elder Grove, but we must listen closely. The forest is filled with both beauty and danger, and only by respecting its ancient ways can we find the path to the hidden temple." As they ventured deeper into the forest, the whispers of the wind grew stronger, carrying with them fragments of forgotten stories and lost knowledge. The trees seemed to bend and sway in response to Nivara's presence, acknowledging her as one of their own. Tobian could feel the forest's magic resonating with Nivara's new form, amplifying her connection to the natural world. The deeper they went, the more the forest revealed its mysteries. They encountered towering stone statues covered in moss, remnants of an ancient civilization that had once thrived in harmony with the forest. The statues depicted beings that were part human, part animal, guardians of the forest who had protected its secrets for centuries. The path led them to a clearing where the trees parted to reveal a towering stone archway, intricately carved with symbols and runes. The archway was the entrance to a sacred grove, hidden from the outside world by the dense canopy of elder grove. As they passed through the archway, the air around them grew still, and the whispers of the wind faded into silence. The grove was bathed in a soft, golden light, and at its center stood an ancient altar made of smooth, polished stone. Upon the altar lay a single feather, glowing with a faint, ethereal light, the feather of elder grove. Nivara approached the altar, her footsteps barely making a sound on the soft earth. She reached out to touch the feather, and as her fingers brushed its surface, the wind suddenly roared to life, swirling around the grove in a powerful vortex. The trees bowed in response, their branches creaking and groaning as if acknowledging the power of the winds. Tobian watched in awe as the winds enveloped Nivara, lifting her into the air. The winds wrapped around her like a protective cocoon, and her form shimmered with magic. She was no longer just the spirit of the forest, she had become the spirit of the whispering winds, a being of pure elemental power. With the feather in hand, Nivara descended gracefully to the ground, the winds calming as they settled around her. "The feather of elder grove," she whispered, her voice filled with reverence. "It holds the power of the winds, a gift from the spirits of the forest. With it, we can summon the winds to aid us in our journey to the hidden temple." Tobian nodded, understanding the significance of the feather. "The winds have chosen you, Nivara. They will guide us through the challenges that lie ahead, just as they have guided us to this sacred place." With the feather of elder grove now in their possession, Tobian and Nivara left the grove, the forest once again whispering its ancient secrets to them. The path to the hidden temple was becoming clearer, but they knew that their journey was far from over. The winds would lead them forward, but it was up to them to face the trials that awaited. As they walked side by side through the enchanted forest, the bond between them grew stronger, their love deepening with each new challenge. The adventures that lay ahead would test their strength and courage, but with the power of the winds at their side, they knew they could overcome anything. And so, with the feather of elder grove as their guide, Tobian and Nivara continued on their journey, ready to face whatever the winds of fate would bring. Chapter 51, The Glimmering Sands of Aurum Dunes. With the feather of elder grove securely tucked away, Tobian and Nivara ventured out of the whispering forest and into a landscape that was starkly different from the lush greenery they had just left behind. The dense trees gradually thinned out, giving way to rolling hills of golden sand that shimmered under the blazing sun. They had arrived at the edge of the Aurum Dunes, a vast desert said to be made of grains of sand infused with gold dust. The desert was known for its treacherous terrain and the legends of a lost city buried beneath its glittering sands. The scorching heat of the desert was a stark contrast to the cool, shaded forest. Nivara paused, feeling the pulse of the land beneath her feet. The desert had a rhythm of its own, a slow, ancient beat that echoed through the sands. Sensing the need for a change, she closed her eyes and allowed the magic of the desert to wash over her. Tobian watched as Nivara's transformation began. Her green hair, still carrying the essence of the forest, started to shift, turning into a vibrant, golden hue that sparkled like the sands around them. Her eyes took on a warm amber glow, reflecting the sun's brilliance. Her skin, now a radiant bronze, shimmered with a golden sheen, as if she were made of the very sands beneath her. Her gown transformed into flowing, silken robes that glimmered in the sunlight, with intricate patterns resembling swirling dunes. Nivara had become the spirit of the glimmering sands, a being perfectly attuned to the desert's mysteries. "The Aurum dunes are filled with secrets," Nivara said, her voice carrying a soft, melodic tone, like wind over sand. "There is power here, hidden beneath the golden grains. But the desert is also a place of trials, where the heat and the shifting sands test the resolve of those who dare to cross it." As they journeyed deeper into the desert, the sun's relentless rays beat down on them, but Nivara's new form seemed to thrive in the heat. The sands shifted beneath their feet, creating the illusion of movement all around them. Despite the harsh conditions, there was a mesmerizing beauty to the endless expanse of golden dunes. They soon encountered the first of the desert's challenges, a vast expanse of quicksand, shimmering with flecks of gold. The quicksand was a deadly trap, nearly impossible to cross without being swallowed whole. But Nivara, with her deep connection to the sands, could feel the subtle movements beneath the surface. "We must move with the rhythm of the sand," Nivara instructed. "If we disturb it too much, it will pull us under. Follow my lead." With graceful movements, Nivara guided Tobian across the quicksand, stepping lightly and carefully, as if dancing across the golden surface. Tobian, trusting in her guidance, mirrored her steps, and together they crossed the treacherous sands without incident. As they continued, they came upon a series of ancient stone pillars, half buried in the dunes. The pillars were etched with intricate runes and symbols that Tobian recognized as part of an ancient language used by desert tribes long ago. The pillars seemed to form a path, leading toward the heart of the desert. Tobian approached the nearest pillar and studied the runes. "These symbols speak of a lost city, buried beneath the sands. It's said to be a place of great power, where the sun and the earth meet. If we follow this path, it may lead us to the city." With renewed determination, they followed the path of pillars, each step taking them closer to the lost city. The desert seemed to come alive around them, the sands shifting and swirling as if guiding them toward their destination. As they reached the center of the desert, the sands parted to reveal a massive, circular stone platform, half buried in the dunes. In the center of the platform stood an ancient obelisk, its surface covered in glowing golden runes. The obelisk radiated a powerful energy, and the air around it seemed to shimmer with heat and magic. Nivara approached the obelisk, her golden eyes reflecting the rune's glow. "This is the heart of the Aurum dunes," she said softly. "The obelisk holds the power of the desert sun, a power that has been hidden here for centuries. We must unlock its secrets if we are to find the lost city." Tobian joined Nivara at the obelisk, his hand brushing against the smooth stone. The runes began to pulse with light, responding to their combined presence. Together, they channeled their magic into the obelisk, the air crackling with energy as the runes grew brighter. With a final surge of power, the obelisk erupted in a burst of golden light, and the sands around them began to shift and swirl. The ground trembled beneath their feet as the dunes parted, revealing the entrance to an ancient city buried beneath the desert. The lost city of Aurum had been revealed, its golden spires and ornate structures glimmering in the sunlight. The city was a testament to a civilization that had once harnessed the power of the sun, and now, Tobian and Nivara were standing at its gates. As they prepared to enter the city, Nivara's form shimmered once more, her connection to the desert deepening with each passing moment. The power of the sun and the sands was now theirs to command, and with it, they would uncover the ancient secrets that lay hidden within the lost city of Aurum. New adventures awaited them within the Golden Walls, and with Nivara by his side, Tobian knew they were ready for whatever challenges the city might present.